Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Centipede. Now, you know I'm a bit of a completionist, given I keep revisiting series and making sure that we complete every puzzle in them. So not too surprising that this weekend we're essentially revisiting the arcade series from Blobz. Now, I'm not particularly familiar with this video game Centipede. I've not played it, neither on the arcade games nor on any other console since. So I don't exactly get a lot of the references that Blobz is making on the grid or the rules, but hopefully some of you are. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets. So, Centipede by Blobz, and essentially we've got mushrooms, a cannon, some shots that are coming out of the cannon, and obviously the green snake is the centipede. So I get Snake. I've definitely played that on old Nokia phones. That's happened. Maybe not mushrooms for the centipede to eat, but I have seen, was it cherries, apples? I kind of lost track of what it was, and it definitely didn't have a cannon. So there's clearly a game here that is being referenced I'm not familiar with. Rules-wise, however, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Now, the centipede is essentially a German whisper line. So adjacent digits along the centipede differ by at least 5. No, I don't want letters. So if this is a 2, for example, this would have to be 7, 8, 9. If that is, let's say, an 8, this would have to be 1 or 3. It can't be a 2 in the same row, etc. And it can't be a 4 because that would be too close. That's only 4 away from the 8. So that's kind of the rule sets here on the centipede. Then we have a digit on a mushroom indicates how many mushrooms contain that digit. So these are the mushrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So really we could have any digit on them. Now, to me what that's saying is that if I have the digit 1 on one of the mushrooms, that's it. We can't have any more. If I have the digit 2 on a mushroom, that means one of these other 2s, and only one more of these, will have a 2. And then again, no more beyond that. Then we have white dots separate consecutive digits. So, for example, if this cell here was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4 for it. No, not 4, 3, for it to be consecutive on these white Kropke dots. Last but not least, we've got digits on the pink cannon form a non-repeating consecutive sequence. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cells in this sequence. So if this cell here was a 2, then I could legitimately put 1, 3, and 4 on here. That would be a set of consecutive digits. It could be in any order. So I could have a 3 here, a 4 there, a 1 there, for example. That actually ended up being in order. Let me try that again. 1, 4. I could, of course, not have a 1. I could have a 5. That is still a consecutive set of 2, 3, 4, 5. What I couldn't do is have a 6 in here. That is no longer consecutive. And it's very explicitly calling out that it is non-repeating. So a double 3 here doesn't work on this 2, 3, 4 rep band or pink cannon. So that's all the rules we have for today. Hopefully for some of you this is a nice trip down memory lane, and it's a game you're looking forward to. Regardless, I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal puzzle, 93% rating as of the time of recording. So if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. So I'll tell you like my thoughts so far. I mean, the mushrooms, I think they're going to be useful, but I'm not quite familiar with them. So I feel like I need to do familiar things first. Then hopefully, we'll kind of find our feet from here. One thing I didn't explain in the rules is the fact that when you talk about German whisper lines, that they have to oscillate between different polarities. So if you remember with my 2 and 7, 8, 9 example, you end up and then sort of 1, 3, high, low, 1, 2, 3, 4, high, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm going to quickly do is ruin this centipede by coloring every other cell 1 parity. Sorry, 1 polarity, purple. I blame Gobbler for this, by the way, because, you know, now that he's got it, I've never used to mix parity and polarity, and now I mix them all the time since his Sudoku puzzle of that title. And these I'm going to call orange. I'm going to do a little bit of thinking about this. So, for example, orange here is done. There's 4 of them in box 5. There's no more. The remaining purple is a 4 or 6. Because if I try and place a 4 in one of these cells, for example, well, I'd have to have a double 9 next to it. Same is true if it's a 6, it'll be a double 1. So in here is 4, 5, 6 with a definite 5, depending on whether I can even do better. This is 4 or 6. Essentially for orange, again, same logic. If 4 or 6 is in any of these 3 cells, well, I'd require either a double 1 or a double 9, and then I would break Sudoku. So this is the 4, 6. This is a 1, 9 pair, which is the only available digits next to a 4, 6. And that's kind of where things come to a crashing halt, really. You see, the rest of them, because they don't have quite the same concentration, was there anything special about the centipede and the fact it has circles in them? No. I think it's just decorative. So we have 4, 5, 6 triplet in here, which means there is no 4, 5, 6 in any of these cells. We also know, in a way, it's not grouping, because I can't put 4, 5, and 6 in here either. You know, whatever this cell is, it's not 4 or 6. Same. In fact, 4s and 6s are not here. 4s and 6s, because, and they can't be in, well, the problem is it can be in this cell. I was about to say this is correct, but that's not true. We just know that none of these are 4s or 6s, but these 4 cells are fair game. If this is 4, 6, that would be 1, 9s and orange 1, 9, which is fine because these are purple 1, 9s. It'll be helpful if I can somehow force a 4 or 6 on these mushrooms. I may have to think about these mushrooms sooner than I was expecting. So I think I said we have 10 mushrooms. That's 5. That's another 5. Yeah, so that was 10 mushrooms. And what's a good way of getting to 10? Essentially, I need a combination of digits that will get me to 10. But there's so many. I could do 2 digits, like 1, 9, 2, 8, 4, 6. So maybe that's something that I should think about. Maybe coloring the mushrooms to think around what is the maximum number of different digits I could have. Because the maximum number to get to 10 would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I could have like a 1, a double 2, I mean, that's a bad example with what I'm doing right now, but 3s, and is this okay? That's 4s, 4 and 3. So for example, I could do something like that and have 4 different digits. And I just demonstrated it's possible despite the construction of this puzzle. So really, I can get away with quite a bit here. Okay, it's got to be the German whisper line. I'm maybe just not quite getting everything that I need out of it. You know, for example, this is not the 1, 9 purple cell. one of these is. I mean, am I going to do this? 2, 3, 7, 8 and do all of them? This can't be 4, 6. This can't be 4, 6. So this is, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I mean, this is not sane. Let me just put it that way. That's not the right choice here. Right, let's just think about the more restrictive digit for a second. So the other, beyond 4, 6, there's 3, 7. Now, I think I can get away with 3, 7 in here because I could put the purple 1, 9 there and then the purple 2, 8 here. And then I'm hiding the purple 4, 6 there, and then I'm left with a 3, 7 purple here. And then I could easily surround it by 1, 9, 2, 8 from orange. So it really doesn't feel like there's a lot of restrictions on this German whisper line. And the fact that there are no 5s here and no 5s there isn't really telling me a huge amount. Let's imagine, actually, yeah, so I've kind of said that I can have 1, 2, 3, 4 on these mushrooms. So I think we've got to think about the mushrooms next. That's the conclusion. And they are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different boxes. So the maximum digit I can place on the mushrooms is 5. Now, what happens if I don't place the 5 on the mushrooms? So that would have to be a 5. Then one of these would have to be a 5. Then one of these would have to be a 5, which is also fine. I mean, I've basically ruled out from here. So one of these would be a 5. And then one of these would be a 5. So again, I can avoid the mushrooms with the 5s. So, like, I guess what I'm reaching out for is valid combinations of these mushrooms are actually more restricted than I thought it was. One option is it is indeed 1, 2, 3, 4. The other option is I can only afford one set of 5s, so that would take 5 away. And then I'd have to have 2 more digits that add to 5. So it'll be either 1, 4 or 2, 3. Right. So all the mushrooms, and this corner pencil mark is not great. All the mushrooms are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do any bigger. And this one is clearly not a 5. Now, if I don't have a 5, I have placed 3 low digits in box 4, because it would have to be 3 of 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've broken the German whisper line. The orange doesn't work and the purple doesn't work. So I actually have to have a 5 on these mushrooms. And because they are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different boxes, and this one is eliminated with this 5, yeah, I'm on the right track, finally. This is not a 5. 5 is one of these two. In fact, because of this 5, that is not a 5 either. That's the other 5. Have to have a 5 in here. Not a 5 is a 5. Now we've got 5s lining up in columns 5 and 6. Finally, some digits after 11 minutes. None of these are 5. That's another 5. And none of these are 5. That's another 5. Is that nearly all of them? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an X-Wing. Fantastic. This is not 4. It's not because of the 4, 5, 6 triplet. And remember, oh no, they don't have to add up to 5 in the boxes. But let me actually think about this. Can the remaining ones... No, I can't do 1, 4. Because the challenge is, I've got more than, I've got 2 boxes where the mushrooms, where there are 2 mushrooms. So if I do it from 1, 4, well, one of them could be a 1, but then all the remaining mushrooms would have to be 4, and it would inevitably break Sudoku in either box 2 or box 4. So the remaining combination is 2 3s. So not, oh, hang on. No, I think that's the wrong conclusion, sorry. Because I could do 4 and 5 here. I still have another 5 to play, so I shouldn't lose track of that. So 4, 4. That can't be a 4, so that's 4, and then 4, 5. And actually that works. Interesting. Very interesting. So this is a 4-6 cell. Just inevitably with the white crocky dot, and therefore, and this is another 4-6 cell. And this is another 3-7 cell. So I think this is the interplay now with the German whisper line. So far, I cannot place an orange 4-6. And in fact, the orange 4-6 is placed in here. So we know it's definitely not there. And the purple 4-6 is obviously not this cell, but it could be either of these. But if this is orange, that's 1, 2, 3 oranges. I still need a 4th, which would either have to be on the mushroom or here. Not helpful. Let's try row 5. Because none of these are 4-6s, but again, I could actually place them in here. It's just, I'm trying, these are very deliberately referring to the fact that we're thinking about 4s and 6s right now. That's kind of the next clue for us to follow. I mean, the orange 4-6 is not here, obviously, and it can't be there. So the orange 4-6 is none of these cells. It doesn't force this to be a 4. I could hide an orange 4-6 in here, which could make it a 6, for example. And then that would be the orange 4-6, or this cell for that matter. And these cells, this cell, so these 2 cells don't have to be the same. Because even if they are the same, they could be the same, and they don't have to be. Because if this is a 4-6 and this is a 5, absolutely, I might need that 3-7 at some point, but I could hide it in here where it won't see it under normal Sudoku rules. This is a tricky puzzle. Delete this, it's not useful. So I think we need the corner pencil marks here. Okay, let's use the German whisper line one more time. Sorry, the mushroom and German whisper combination one more time. And I want to just check what happens if I make this a 4-1 mushroom. So if these are 4s and this is 1, and this is essentially 4-5, what breaks? That becomes 6, 7. This will become 6. Can I hide? So one of these would be the 4, but then one of these two would be the 4. Doesn't really confirm that the orange is the 4. And 4 is here. Yeah. Tricky puzzle. You know, this is where I reread the rules just to double check that I haven't missed anything. I really need to know the polarity of this German whisper line. It would immensely help because you can see orange 4-6 is none of these cells. Purple 4-6 could be here, but there's so much restriction with this centipede that this can't be 4-6 because of this 1-9. We'd need it in here, so no, no, no. So these 3 oranges are not 4 or 6, which would mean that this is either the orange 4-6 or this is. And that'll be fantastic if it is. Right, maybe we're onto something in here. Let me just, we definitely know that one of these is an orange 4-6. Let's just keep looking for another. No, no, maybe. No, no. So the orange 4-6 is, well, it's not this cell, and it's not this cell, it's one of these two. I really need to sort of distinguish them. Orange 4-6. Again, it's not any of these. The challenge is it can be this one. Let me think this through. If this is the orange 4-6, well, it's not here. It would have to be one of these two. Otherwise, it's one of these two. Not helpful. No, no, no. And again, one of these is the orange 4-6s. Right. 20 minutes in. Can we reason a bit more about these mushrooms? I mean, we could eliminate a bunch of ones from them. Because if there is a 1-4, the 1 would have to be in one of these cells. Which would turn this into 9. Right, let's explore this one more time. 1, 4, 9, 4. Because that's not a 1. Kind of forgot about using that. 4, 4, and then 4, 5. and then not 4s. And therefore, because it's an orange 4, I mean, that becomes 6, 7. One of these becomes a 4. Can not be a 4 because that can't be a 9. But basically, any of these could be. Now, what's the challenge? So I think we can definitely do a few things. Not one. None of these are 1s anymore. Neither is this one for that matter. Now, if it is 2, 3, that's 2, 3. Hang on, Sleuth, pay attention. It's simpler than what I'm guessing. Remember, I've got this many that I need to place. And I have 2 low digits, Sleuth, come on. Orange is low, purple is high. Because otherwise, with these two, dear oh dear. Right, that's 9, that's 4, that's 9. Right, so if this is 2, 3, I would have to place a 4 in one of these, and I can't. 6, 7. We'll just have to sort of forego this for a bit. Just pretend you haven't seen the last 15 minutes of this. Right, that's so much better. This could be anything. No, this can't be a 3 because it would require 8 or 9, and neither of them can be a 9. So this is 1, 2. This can't be a 3 either for the same logic. One of them would have to be a 9. 1, 2. 3 is up here. Two, 3, making this absolutely an 8. Since one of them will be a 3. This is not a 6. That's a 7. That's a 6. Surrounding cells are 1, 2 again. These are now 8, 9. That's not a 4. It very likely will be a 3, but I mean, could be anything really. This is another 1, 2, 3. Now, if it is 1, 2, if it is a 3, that would have to be 8, 9 pair breaking this cell. So that is the 3. That's not a 3. This is not the 3 because that can't be 8 or 9. That's 2. That's 1. That's 3. That's 2, therefore. I need 7, 7, 8, 9. And the 8 is neither of these cells. So that is the 8. That's the 9. 7 and 9. That can't be the 9. That's 7. That's 9. Setting us up for a 4 here, but it doesn't have to be. This is a 1 because of this 2. This is definitely a 3 now. 6, 8. This has to be the 8. Can't be next to a 3 with a 6. That's the 6. This is not 8 or 9. It has to be a 7 next to a 1 or 2. Therefore, this is, 6 or 8. And this is 3, 6, 8. But again, it's setting us up for a 6 in here with a 1 potentially. 5, 6 still not resolved, okay. This is not a 6 because it would require a double 1, which it can't be. That's an 8. This is 2 or 3. These cells are now just known. I don't need the corner pencil marks. They are 3, 4, I'm going to say, making this not a 3. In fact, it's just a 1. This is 2, 7, 8. Not a 7. Three is in one of these cells. 4, 5. Then I need 6 and 9, and that is not the 6. So the 3 are forming and the 6 are forming a pair, and that's a 9. 4, 5, no, they're placed. 1 is in here. Not very useful. Pencil markers, we already knew that 1 is placed, in fact, in here. So these cells are 1, 2, 6, 7. 1, 2, 6, 7. Yeah, the 1 and 6, that's more useful. The 2 and 7, they're in here. So in here I have 2, 7, 1, 6, and an 8. And they don't exactly line up. Okay, 8. And up here we've got essentially 3, 6, 8. They're done. So 1 off, 1, 6, and 2, 7. And it's not the 6. That's a 6. That's a 1. Excuse me. That's the 6. That's the 1. That's the 6. That's better. Then I just have a 2, 7 in here with a 9. That's the 9. That's a 2, 7. Now we know that this is a 2, 7, an 8, and a 1. And the 1 is one of these cells. Okay. I haven't really thought about columns much, such as 1, 2, not 8, 3, 6, and then another 3, 6 down here. And 8 again, not an 8, that's just an 8. In fact, once we placed a 2, that was an 8. Not my smoothest solve by a long stretch here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. 1 is one of these two cells. I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, presumably, if this is a 1. 2, 3 looks fine as well. So, can't eliminate the 1. The rest of this is 4, 5, 6, 1, and a 7. This is not the 7, this is a 1, 7 pair. Interesting. So if it's a 1, this is a 4. If this is a 7, yes, this is definitely a 6. And it's not a 6, that's a 4. And the 7, can it get to the 4? No, because neither of these can be a 5. That's 1, that's 7. This is 4, 6, because of this 5. So one of these is a 5, and we knew the other one is a 5. Okay. And these are 2, 3 pairs, which gives me a 6 here, a 3 here, a 6 there, which resolves the 5, 6 from the start. 5, 4, 4. And this is now 2, 3, 9. That's the 9. This is another 2, 3 because of this 2, 3 pair. 1 is placed. 6 is placed. 8, 9. That's the 9. That's the 8. Not an 8. Not an 8 here either. This is a 1, 8 pair. This is 2 or 7, which gives me a 2, 7 pair. That 6 gave me a 3, a 6, a 4, a 3, 2, 7, this, yeah, that 1, 8, 2, 3, 2, 7, 2, 7, 8, 1, 7, right, 2. I think I made this way harder than it really was. We have another 2, 3 in here and a 9. That's the 9. That's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 3. I need a 2, which is this cell. A 3 I've placed. A 4 in here. 5, 6, 7. If I've not made any mistakes, 8 for the finish. Beautiful puzzle, Blobz. Sorry for the kind of 10-minute hang-up on what was going here. I think recently I've just been stumped by new variants. It takes me a long time to kind of think through them and understand their implications. I guess, if you play Sudoku daily for a while, you start to rely on patterns that you know, as opposed to logic. And It's good exercise to see that, no, you do actually have to use logic on, well, new variants. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and maybe the video. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.